Bellator not only signed Cro Cop, they signed him for an opponent. He's going to take on Roy Nelson. I like that fight. I'll tell you this, though. So Cro Cop gets signed, and it turns out he's under a suspension from USADA. So the media tried to dump this on Coker's lap. You know, how do you sign a guy that's on a suspension from USADA? I'm going, wait a second. You're going to drop that on Coker? That Cro Cop has some side deal with USADA? I'll tell you this, and here's what Coker said. He told the truth. He goes, well, he's fought since his time in the UFC. USADA, as far as mixed martial arts goes, is exclusive to the UFC, so he's fought since then. Why would I not assume that he's clear to fight? Well, that's a perfectly reasonable question, and he has fought. Cro Cop's fought, I think, twice. But there is more to this story, and Cro Cop's hands were clean on this. I'll tell you what happened. Whenever you do a drug test for anybody, but we're talking USADA right here, commissions are anybody, before you do the test, you have an opportunity to disclose anything you've taken, from medications to supplements to vitamins, whatever you might have put in your body, you have a chance to write it all down. So Cro Cop had a bad shoulder, and I think he's living in Croatia at the time, and where he lived is relevant to the story. So he had his bad shoulder, some kind of like a shoulder surgery or some kind of repair he needs, and the doctor gives him a form of growth hormone, which is completely appropriate, medical, necessary treatment. So as soon as Cro Cop gets that medicine from the doctor, he's now faced with a question. Do I want to take the advice of a doctor, and do I want to focus on my health, or do I want to say, no, don't do the treatment, and let me cross-reference this with this organization called USADA, of which I'm in that pool too? Well, what's a reasonable person going to do? They're going to go with the advice of their doctor. They're going to fix their shoulder. That's what Cro Cop did. So now USADA comes in, and Cro Cop mans up right away. Right away, he writes that down, trying to fix my shoulder. Here's what I took. USADA goes, okay, well, we have a problem with that, and then they take his sample. They do the test on him. Sample comes back clean. Turns out Cro Cop was wrong. The doctor either didn't give him that, or there is another option, which it cleared his system. Either way, from an integrity standpoint, Cro Cop is completely intact. He did not fail a test. He was not accused of taking a banned substance. He accused himself. He said, my understanding is this is what the doctor gave me. Science said the doctor didn't give him to him, that he's wrong, but let that lie. Cro Cop never complained. He manned up. He fessed up. Was never caught. That's relevant to the story. The worst I've ever seen under USADA would be BJ Penn. BJ Penn is officially in USADA drug cheat. Officially. Sentence, suspension, served it. BJ was never accused of taking a banned substance and never did take a banned substance. Didn't take it, wasn't even accused of it, but is officially in USADA drug cheat. How's that happen? I could give you the story on how it happens, but go look that one up. It gets a little bit confusing, and nobody's wrong in this story. Nobody's wrong. It's just sometimes the rules aren't completely clear. So Cro Cop, what's he do? He ends up going to fight in Japan. A reasonable person is going to assume if he's fighting anywhere, then he has served whatever suspension that would prevent him from fighting, right? Well, not so fast. Japan is not a member of the ACB, so it doesn't fall into that database. Now, the ACB will let you go fight places that aren't part of their organization, and they won't even condemn it if you do it. But this is what Cro Cop did. He fought outside of the ACB. Jacob, it'd be like you and I going, hey, let's do something right now. Let's arm wrestle right now, by example. And the winner's the Olympic champion. We can say we're the Olympic champion, but the IOC isn't going to recognize that, right? Well, so the ABC kind of works that way, too. They go, well, we regulate martial arts. And then you get another organization that goes, well, we're doing martial arts. And they're going, well, I don't know about that. We have the unified rules, and we have our own process, and you're outside of that. I'm not sure I agree. So the relevance is Cro Cop went, and he did have a couple of fights since this USADA situation. He comes over to Bellator, tells Coker, I want a contract. Great, love to have you. I've even got an opponent for you in Roy Nelson. You're not under any suspension. I checked the ABC database. Your name's not in it. So let's do the fight. And then the media tries to put that on Coker? Come on, man. His hands are clean on this one. And frankly, so is Cro Cop's. And so is the ACB. Everybody's is. He can't fight in the organization and be part of the USADA pool. Apparently, there's some, I don't know what his suspension. I think he got 2 years, but that's got to be close to up. I just thought it was a little underhanded that they went to Scott Coker as though he was supposed to come in and regulate at a higher level than what they were doing in Japan. Ryzen, the last promotion he fought in, which is a reputable promotion, particularly in that part of the world. And he's supposed to regulate at a higher level than the ABC database. That's not on him. That's not on Coker. Cro Cop never tested positive for a banned substance, ever. Cro Cop was honest, which ended up to his own detriment, didn't matter to him. He was a man of integrity. His integrity stays intact. And if I had any message to Cro Cop, it would be simply, I'm glad you're back, and welcome. Welcome to Bellator.